I forgot to press record yesterday when I was filming this video to show how I actually achieved the really scratched up lid, or that sectional lid. So basically all I did is I taped it up like I do later, and then I used a Scotch-Brite pad and just guffed it really good to get it that scratched up. And I also, unlike the video I did the other day where I filmed real time, this one I filmed, but then I went back and I sped it up because it was a 25-minute total process, I think. Nobody wants to watch a 25-minute process of somebody polishing plastic. So the first thing you can see I'm going to do is I'm going to reapply masking around the rectangle, and you can see how scuffed up that square is, or rectangle is. I'm going to speed this up. Here we go. And we are going to start off with some sandpaper, wet sandpaper. Start off at 100, going to go to 1,000, then 1,500, and move up to 2,000, and then finish it with 3,000. This is going to be sped up later in a second here. First, I'm just going to show you the 800, and I'm cutting a small piece off. Then I also, in order to get water, I don't want to put a ton of water all over the top of my laser machine, so I grab one of my syringes I use for glue ups. No needle needed. I just need to get a little bit of distilled water. We'll get it inside the syringe and go ahead and put a few drops down. And then the way I always do it, I just fold sandpaper typically in thirds, whatever size piece it is, and that way you've got a folded piece that doesn't back out on you, like it doesn't try to come unfolded once you do it. And basically all you're going to do is you're just going to do small circular patterns, just randomly just going through it. And look at how fast I'm moving. Man, that is quick. Wish I could do that in real time. And then we're going to move up to the 1,000. And this is going to be the same process carried throughout all the different stages. You want to make sure you wipe off the previous stage, basically, get it nice and dry and all the debris gone, and then you're going to add more water and go through the sanding process again. And as you get to the end, you'll start seeing, as you apply the water and you're sanding, it's hard to see in the video, but you'll realize that as you're sanding, like with the 3000 grit, and it's wet, you're going to start seeing and noticing, wow, it is actually cleaning this up. It's basically turning these bigger scratches into micro scratches and smaller scratches, and then now we need to go, and then we're going to have to go and actually really polish it out. And to do that, I also bought a polishing compound kit. So it has a basic compound in there for plastics, which is going to be the first one I use, which is kind of a brown or a reddish color. And the kit came with, I think it was 4 different polishing wheels, and they just attached to my cordless drill. So nothing fancy. If I felt like it, I have a kit that I could have actually used with my compressor and air, but this is what I chose to do. So there's the brown or red one, and there's the white one. The white one is the finishing polish, and this stuff makes a mess, so just be prepared when you're applying the polish to the wheel. It's going to send fuzzies everywhere, and then as you're polishing, it's going to send fuzzies everywhere. And like I said, this is just kind of just random again, I mean, I had to reload the polish again. And then we're going to buff it off with a old clean t-shirt, and we're going to switch to the white, which is the finishing. Load the wheel up. Can't even tell it's on there, but it gets on there. And then we go in and we do the same thing. Polish it right up. Buff it off. And now, I mean, it looks pretty darn good just the way it is, but we're still going to finish it with the Novus plastic polish because it's just going to take care of the minute stuff that's still left in there. First, I'm going to go ahead and pull off the tape because you can see the residue at the edge of the tape. We're going to clean that off real quick. I'm just going to buff it down, get all that stuff gone. And then we're going to go through and reapply tape. After I bump my camera and reposition it. There we go. Reapply the tape. And just like the video yesterday, well, slight change. You can actually buff off this stuff with a polishing wheel. And since I had an extra one in the kit, I figured I'd go ahead and load it up and do that. Still apply it by hand, just rub it in there. And then I use the other polishing wheel and just buff it off with that. Still got to go back with a lint-free rag or a microfiber cloth and get rid of that. And then we go to number 2. Same process as yesterday. Just rub it in and polish it off. And go up to number 1. Number 1's really nice too because it also has an anti-static in it. So once you spray it on and buff it off, you know, if you work with plastic a lot, you know that it tends to get a lot of static buildup. So you end up collecting a lot of dust, but this helps with the dust. And we'll pull it off and we'll take a look at it. Hopefully you're as impressed as I was. I've done this before, but still, every time I do it, it's such a nice finish. And you'll see there's a little hazing around the edge of the rectangle just because the tape was there. But if I was going to do the entire lid, which I guess eventually I will, now that I've decided to do this video, it would all turn out like that. We'll zoom in here and get a better look at it. But that looks pretty damn good. So, hope this helps you out, and thanks for watching.